Or, nowhere for me. Okay, 1, 2. Accessibility. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, can everyone hear me? Yes? Okay. Okay, welcome everyone. Today we're going to be talking about meditation. So I'm going to give you a little introduction into why we should be meditating. First of all, my name is Nej and I am from London, Cypriot, and I have been meditating for about 10 years and teaching for the last 3. The fact that you're all here today says a lot. It shows that you are interested. It shows that you have a reason to be here, and that reason could be anything. It could be that you want to broaden your mind. It could be that you're anxious. It could be that you're in a bad place, or it could be that you're in an amazing place and you just want to grow more. The fact is that meditation is all about being present. That's all it is. So the question is, why do we need to meditate? The reason is because we are so used to living in the habitual mind. The habitual mind is constantly active. It doesn't stop. It just continues to just do its own thing with no control. We have no control over it, and we're thinking, we're having inner conversations, we're daydreaming, and we're not even aware of it. It's just happening. And the whole point of meditation is to escape the habitual mind and come into now. So there's a lot of skepticism about meditation in the world. There's a lot of people saying you should do it this way, you should do it that way. Ultimately, if you're in the present moment now, you are meditating. It's as simple as that. So it doesn't matter what your religion is, doesn't matter what you believe, it doesn't matter what your culture is. No one is going to be against you for being in the present moment now. Every culture, every religion will love this, will accept this. So there are 3 different types of meditation. The first one, habitual meditation. It's not really meditation, but we call it habitual meditation because that is what we're doing constantly, habitually in our heads. So, inner conversations, I'm sure you do that every day. Talk to yourself in your mind. Yeah. Daydreaming, we do this a lot as well. And all of these things are our mind just doing its own thing. And what we want to do is be the watcher. We want to be watching the mind rather than letting it do its own thing. So, habitual meditation is what we're doing on a daily basis from the moment we wake up, and it drains you. Your energy decreases. Um, it's like if you were running all day, you'd get tired. Well, if your mind is running all day, you're gonna get tired. You're gonna feel drained. So how do we combat this? We combat this with natural meditation. Natural meditation, it can be done anywhere, anytime. It's just about being present and activating your senses. So you could be going for a walk in the park and just looking at everything, seeing the trees, seeing the birds, seeing the people. You're present. You're aware of what you're seeing. When you're aware of what you're seeing, you're present, and that is gonna recharge you. That is gonna. It's a bit like when you put your phone on charge and it charges your phone, or when you're drained, just go for a walk and just look at everything, see everything. At the same time, feel everything. This is natural meditation and it can be done anywhere, not just when you're walking. It can be done when you're at work. It can be done when you're driving your car. It can be done when you're sitting just doing nothing. You're just present naturally. And then we've got conscious meditation. Conscious meditation is when you actually sit down, close your eyes, and you sit to meditate. And that's when we go through the levels. So there are 7 levels of meditation altogether. Today we're going to learn about the first 3. Inner meditation, outer meditation, and letting go meditation. So I think what I'll do now is I'll play video 1, if someone can play video 1 for me. Video 1 will tell you what I'm going to talk about when it comes to the inner meditation. The outer meditation, sorry, I should say. They're in the wrong order. Outer meditation is first. So if we can play video 1, please. So just see that one more time. It's all about awareness. Okay, so this was a little visual so that you can see what we're going to try to do now. Let's get back to the slides and then I'll go through it with you. The main thing here is that we are aware of what we're doing. When we're looking, we know that we're looking. When we're seeing, we know that we're hearing. I'm seeing, and when we're hearing, we know that we're hearing. Most of the time, you don't know. You're just hearing, but you don't know it. You're not aware of it. It's just happening mechanically. When you're seeing, how often do you actually look at what you're seeing? And when you do actually look, you will realize that you've gone past somewhere hundreds of times in your life, and you will realize you'll see things that you've never seen before. I'm sure this has happened to all of you. And this is just because most of the time when we're looking, we're not aware that we're looking. We're just looking. So the benefits of outer meditation is that you start seeing the reality. You start seeing life for what it really is. We've got to bring attention to our senses because our senses are there to perceive the world. That's what they're there for. They're not there to just run mechanically. They're there for us to use them to perceive the physical reality. So the question is, how do we bring awareness to our senses? So here is our 5 senses. I don't know how many of you are aware of this hierarchy of senses, but hearing is our strongest sense for humans. Smell is our weakest sense. So when we're doing natural meditation, we can use all of these senses. We can be eating and just tasting the food, really, really tasting the food, knowing that you're tasting it. When you do that, the nutrients go into your body much, much, much better because you are aware of what you are eating. When you're smelling, you can still smell stuff and be aware of it, but the smell for humans is not that good. So we can ignore that when we're meditating. And when we close our eyes, we ignore taste and smell. So, just like in the video, when you are seeing, know that you are seeing. When you are tasting, know that you are tasting. And when you are hearing, just know that you are hearing. That's all you have to do. Just be aware of what's happening right now. So, the physical world, it has to be present. It has no choice but to be present. This table, the trees, the birds, the animals, they're always in the moment now. It's only our minds that isn't. Our minds go into the past, into the future, habitually. But the physical world, the rest of it, it's always present. So by connecting with the physical world, you become present. So just by being aware of a tree, just by looking at it, or just by being aware of the sounds around you, you become present. You become part of the physical reality, not in like a dream world, which most of the time we are in our minds. So, like I said before, level 1 can be practiced pretty much anywhere. You can be walking, you can be driving, you can be working, you can be studying. It really doesn't matter. Now, you guys are all students, so I'm sure studying is very important for you. Well, when you're studying, how often do you find that your mind wanders? So what we have to do when you're studying is focus on what it is you are doing and be aware of all your surroundings at the same time. Because by being present, you are being open. You have access to knowledge, and it's just coming into you, and you are processing it properly. When your mind is here and there, and you're studying or in a class, and your mind's wandering, you're not really understanding what's going on in the class. So on the second level of meditation, that is inner meditation. So we're moving from the outside into the inside. So in the first level of meditation, we're aware of what's going on in the outside world. In the second level of meditation, we start to become aware of the inside world, of inside us, inside our minds, our bodies, our tensions, our anxieties, all of those things. So what we do when we move to the second level is, first of all, you bring your attention to your body. So at the same time, you're still aware of the outside, but now you bring attention to the weight of your body. You look at, you feel, if you're sitting, you feel your bum on the seat, you feel your feet on the floor. If you're walking, you feel the clothes on your skin. This is going to ground you. One of the good tricks that we have to escape the mind is always remember that the mind is here, all the way up here. So by bringing attention to your feet, you're moving away from the mind immediately. It's the furthest you can get from it. So by bringing attention to your feet, whether it's the feet on the floor, or if you wiggle your toes, or just move your leg, move your ankle, you're getting as far away from the mind as possible. And this is a good technique to help you to get out of the mind. However, that's not going to stop it. So we're going to have to be aware of the mind too. So we're going to just be aware of thoughts, of worries, of anxieties, any issues that we may have that come up in the mind. We don't have to fight them, but we can just look at them. We can be aware of them. And then we're going to have emotions come up. So whether it's worried about an exam that's coming up, or a relationship, or personal things, anything that you might be worried about, any tensions, you become aware of those too. And as you sit, you just be aware. And the key to awareness is awareness without thoughts. Just know that they're there. And when you just know, then you're good, because you can just look at them. You're detached from them. You're not them. They're happening, but you are detached. You're just the watcher. You're just looking. So you're like, okay, there's anxiety, but I am not the anxiety. It's just there. Okay, I am scared. Why is it there? You will know by looking. And a lot of the time, you will find that the looking at the emotion will dissolve it. Just the awareness of it alone. Might not be immediate, but as you practice this, the looking at the emotion dissolves it, gets rid of it. So, next up, we just gotta keep aware of these thoughts, these attachments that we may have. And like I said before, we are looking at them without thoughts, without judgment. We are just aware of them and allowing them to come. And then we move in to the next level, which is level 3. Level 3 is letting go meditation. Why do we need letting go meditation? Because while we're trying to meditate, while we're in level 1 and level 2, all of these things are going to be coming up a lot. And when you sit down to meditate, they come more, because they're like, oh, this is my chance. This is my chance to invade. Well, you're going to sit down, you're going to close your eyes, you're going to become aware of the outside world. Then you're going to become aware of the inside world. You're going to feel your body, feel the weight, feel the air around you, the clothes on your skin. You're going to be very present. Then all of a sudden, a thought is going to come to your mind, a worry, a daydream. This is why we need level 3, because level 3 is letting go meditation. Level 3 is something, again, that you practice all the time. It's something that you get better and better and better and better at. It starts really hard. You can let go for a few seconds and then you're back into the mind again. So you've got to just take it step by step and just keep your awareness to letting go and just constantly practice it. You will notice your mind will start thinking. The inner conversations, the daydreams, all of these will start when you're meditating. They happen when you're not meditating too, but when you're meditating, they will happen. So as soon as you notice, you let it go and you bring your attention back to the outside and to the inside. What does that mean? You bring your attention back to now. That's it. When you notice whatever it is, the thoughts, the worries, the anxieties, as soon as you notice it, this doesn't have to be when you're meditating, by the way. Throughout the day, when you're awake, the moment you notice your mind go into the past or to the future or get stuck on an emotion, use that awareness to let it go and come back to the now, to the outer world and to the inner world, everything that's happening right now. So, where was we on 16? Yes, 17. So, this is actually called impartial self-observation. This is what this whole process is actually called, meditation. Impartial self-observation. This means looking at yourself beyond your thoughts, beyond your attachments or your desires, just looking at yourself, but not having a judgment about it, but just knowing that it is what it is. And then you're impartially observing yourself. Again, this goes back to awareness without thoughts. So when you are present, you are just present. You're just alive. But you know you're present. That's the thing. No other animal can do that. Every other animal is present, but it doesn't know it. It just is present. You have that ability to know that you are in the present moment now. You have the ability to look at your thoughts, at your emotions, and know why they exist. You have the ability to know that your senses are there to perceive the world. So when you can do this, that's when you're fulfilling your true human potential. That's one of the purposes of a human being is we have this intelligence to be able to be aware of all of these things and to be aware of the fact that we are alive. No other animal is aware of that apart from a human. And once you can achieve this and you are fulfilling your true human potential, studies, exams, work, relationships, love, life, it's easy. You're just going with the flow and you live lovingly as well because you're present. And when you're living with that vibration, this means that everything can just fall into place the way it's meant to. So it is a process. It is a process. And actually, the thing with meditation is that we are starting from the most difficult step. Unlike your studies and your courses, you always start from the easiest. You know, if you want to learn maths or a language, you start from the most basic and it gets harder and harder. Meditation is the opposite of that, actually. You start from the hardest step and then it gets easier and easier and easier until it just becomes how you are. You just automatically know to let go. You don't have to watch the mind anymore. It's almost like as soon as you notice it, you let it go. It just becomes a new habit, but a good habit and a healthy habit. So again, whenever you notice your thoughts, your worries, your anxieties, use that awareness to let it go and bring yourself back to the present moment now. Once you do this, you practicing it as much as you can. Just keep that awareness high. Keep your awareness to where the mind is going. You're going to notice that sometimes you won't notice for hours. Sometimes you'll notice, you'll let it go, you'll come back to the present moment, and then 10 seconds is going to pass. You'll be present for 10 seconds, and then you'll be back in the mind. But it doesn't matter, because the act of letting go, each act of letting go is just going to slightly increase your strength. And it's going to give you that ability after, I mean, I can't say exactly how long because everyone is different, but on average, 6 to 8 months of practicing letting go. And then it starts to become a new habit. And then you'll just be walking and you'll be like, I'm in my head. Let me get out of it. And I'll just be in the present. And this is the process. So you have to trust the process. It's difficult at first. It is difficult at first, but it just becomes like, oh yeah, what was I doing in my head? Let me get out of it. And then boom. And there are techniques to letting go as well. Because the moment you notice, it's easy just to say, oh, let it go, right? And come to the present. Well, there are little things that you can do if you find that difficult, where you can kind of shake your head from side to side, you can touch your knee, bring attention to your feet. Little things that you're just going to consciously do, which is going to bring you back to the present moment. You can personalize it, you know, anything that suits you, you know, whether it's touching your knee, touching your head, tickling yourself, anything you want, you know, it's just whatever you need to do to become present. That's where we have level 1 to 3. Now there are other levels to meditation. We are starting on the first 3, and we should master the first 3 before we move forward. One of the problems that most people have is that they get confused with what they're supposed to do. And this is why we're trying to simplify it by giving you 3 levels to master. The first 2 is the outer meditation, being aware of the outside world. The inner meditation, being aware of the inside world. And then staying in those states and letting go whenever you come out and going back into those states. Once you can master this, like I said, in 6 to 8 months or however long it takes you, you realize that you are letting go and you just know, you notice the mind much more. You can move forward into expansion and the other levels of meditation, but they're not necessary right now. The first three can literally be done by anyone all day long. You don't need to be a guru. You don't need to be into yoga or meditation or anything like that. You just be present. That's literally all it is. Just be present at the moment you're meditating. One of the things that we always say is when you are aware of two senses at the same time, you are in a meditative state. It's true. Remember this. Remember this. If you are looking and at the same time you're hearing and you're aware of both of these, your mind will stop. It will stop. As long as you're aware of those two senses, it can be any two senses, by the way, the mind will stop. It cannot work when you're aware of two senses. So give it a go, and we will give it a go. Can I have video 2, please? I saw you guys were a little bit confused when I said that, but give it a go. Right. Hello. Okay. Okay. So this was a little visual of what I just said to you guys about activating your senses. So once you become aware of your senses, the mind stops. Now, if you act aware of two senses at the same time, that's great. If you're aware of three at the same time, then boy, you are alive in that moment. But start with two. Start with two. When your eyes are open, there we go. Right, so here we have it. So when your eyes are open or closed, then we have to focus on the three strongest senses. Like I said before, ignore the other two. Taste, it's only useful when there is food, and there's no food now, so we can ignore that. And the smell, it's just not necessary to focus on the smell. So we focus on our three strongest senses: hearing, touch, and sight. So when your eyes are open, use your sight. So everyone want to give it a go? Should we have a little meditation? Okay, so let's start with when the eyes are open. So look directly in front of you and try to see the whole room. Don't focus on anything. Just try to see the whole room at the same time. And while you're doing this, just be aware of the weight of your body on the seats. You just got to look. You can look in front, you can look to your left, you can look to your right. Just try to see everything at the same time. I'm doing it too. And don't think about it either. Don't think about what you're seeing. Just see it. At the same time, feel the body, feel the weight of the body on the chair, feel your feet on the floor. How do you feel? So, as you're doing this, you're going to notice again that the mind will start to think. Now, the problem is when you have your eyes open, there's so many things that can distract you and can make you think about things or just take you away from the present. Doesn't change when you close your eyes. The mind has got its own little film going on always. But we got to close the eyes for conscious meditation. So what we'll do is we'll close our eyes now and then cut off that sense to the outside world so that we can then feel but not see, and also look inside, because it's hard to look inside when your eyes are open. So everyone give their eyes closed, and while your eyes are closed, I just want you to feel the weight of your body and listen to everything that is happening. What's that? Oh, there's normal slides. Come on. Leave that for now. So when your eyes are closed, you're feeling the weight of your body. You're feeling your feet on the floor. And just listen to everything. When there's silence, just listen to the silence. You will realize that the silence is always there. And the sounds, they just play in the silence. They come, they go, but the silence is always there. So connect with that. When you notice your mind do anything, let it go. Bring your attention back to the feet, furthest away from the mind. Back to listening. Feel the clothes on your skin. No matter who you are, how long you've been meditating for, your mind will come up with stuff. It's not about stopping the mind. It's about being aware of it and using that awareness to let go and go back to just listening, just feeling. Sometimes you can fall asleep. That's okay. That just means your body's tired. It can happen. It happened to me last night, actually. And I woke up with a stiff neck because I was sitting upright. It can happen. So you can do this however many times a day you want. What we say is to practice it once a day for 10 minutes to begin with, then increase that to twice a day, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and just keep practicing. And as you practice, you will gain strength. And as you gain strength, your ability to let go just becomes normal, becomes just like an everyday thing. And you will just be getting on with life, but the difference will be you'll be present. The habitual mind will no longer be in the driving seat, because at the moment, most of us, we're just passengers and the mind is driving. with meditation, we swap seats and we start driving and we are just looking at the mind as we are controlling what we are doing, as we are being present and are truly alive. So if we can play video 3 and I'll take some questions if you have any. Maybe, whoa, that was not video 3. I don't know what that was, but maybe we should take some pictures now while we're sorting that out. Does anyone have any questions? Yes. So, habitual meditation. Right? Remember, there were 3 types of meditation. Habitual meditation is when you're not concentrating, and that drains you. That sucks your energy. Meditation is all about being aware and conscious. And so, the more aware and conscious you are, the more you are meditating, the more of a meditative state you're in. So, the goal is to actually get away from the habitual meditation and leave that behind. Does that answer it? Yeah. Letting go. So, what they're doing is letting go meditation without even knowing, without realizing that that's what they're doing. So, you're just letting go. It doesn't have to be called letting go meditation. Just let go. And that's the point. So, actually, I was doing the same before I learned about meditation. Even when I was young, I was battling with stuff when I was in like 18, 19, those ages. And I used to, I used to like pinch my knee, not hard, but just a little bit, just to get myself out of my head. I didn't even know that that was letting go until I realized later on that actually that's what I was doing. I was practicing letting go because I realized that that action of doing that was bringing me back to the present moment. Now, at the time, I didn't know the logistics of it. I didn't know exactly why I was doing it, but it helped. And now I realize that I was actually letting go at the time. So it's the act of letting go of the habitual mind. That's what meditation is. And then we move up to the other level where we are away from the body. But that we don't think about that now. That's for after letting go. let go, just keep on doing that, and that will increase the strength. So you, like you said, you close your eyes and immediately you realize that some bad memory came or some traumas or whatever it is. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And but actually, the meditation itself is gonna start to heal those things. So any traumas we may have, any personal issues or mental health issues or stresses when it comes to your exams or anything like that, the meditation will resolve those things in time. It's not an instant process.
In other words, we should be ready that such event may come back, but that's the practice now.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people struggle with this when they start to meditate. Some people just start crying. They just start crying. They can't help it. And this is the actual thing leaving your body. It's something you might get hot. You might feel really hot. You might feel cold. You might start to shake. You might feel tinglings or pains or things like that. And this is the act of these things showing themselves to you, and then the awareness of it is going to start to resolve it. It takes time. It's a process, and we got to stay strong during that process. To be strong is to be able to look at our issues. When we have issues and we are aware of them, they're not going to be because we'll get it. But you have to be aware of it. And
Sorry,
no, it's really doing.
actually, meditation doesn't heal, it's just like getting rid. Doesn't heal.
It does heal as well. It heals and removes and dissolves. Ultimately, it's about being present. Yeah. Well, when you're present, there's no past and there's no future. All of the problems we have are related to the past and future. All of them. So when you're present, they don't exist. And if they do exist in the present, by the way, that's totally fine. Then you just be aware of the problems that you're having in the present moment. And just, again, the awareness of them is all you need. You can then do the positive steps to remove them, whether it's meditation, therapy, going for a run, whatever you need to do, but it's the awareness of it that is what meditation is going to help you achieve. That's it. No, because when you when you're what you're letting go of is things that are related to the past and the future and anxiety, stress, and stuff like that. Also, excitement is another thing that you let go of. There's something coming up. You're really excited about it. You're not present anymore, but it's not about losing the positive things or not. It's not about like kind of not using the mind. You use the mind. There's the law of attraction, which I'm sure you know about, which is to use positive thoughts to manifest. And it's about being aware of the mind. You give it permission to do what it's going to do, not it doing it by itself. Right? So if you want to about something, think about something. If you want to worry about something, worry about something. Just know that you're doing it. That's what it is. Just know that you're doing it. So like I said, the analogy I gave before about you being in the driving seat rather than the mind driving the car. Because when someone else is driving the car, you don't have control over the car. Well, your body is the car. And if you're not in control of your body, your mind, then it's going to take you all sorts of places and you don't want to go. But if you're in control of it, then you can decide what your mind is going to do.
and even getting the lightness from the system. So how can you, like, how do I be in control of my mind and my body? How do I get to that point? Like, is there anything I can
So
do?
what distracted you?
Like,
Okay. But isn't these things happening now?
it's happening now, but I was thinking if I stop my eyes, like, it would be different. I feel like I focus on myself. But no, I was still getting the
The sound on it, that
like the sound.
you listen to. Listen to every sound that you hear.
So how do I now focus on myself?
No, don't shut it out. No. Can we play video two? Video two, no music. That's okay, you can play without music, can play video two. So basically, you do not shut off the mind. You are aware of it, but you don't shut it off because the moment you try to sit down and turn off the mind, it's going to go into overdrive.
I was like I don't focus on my mind or what is in my head or my soul. I was still getting the mind. I was still thinking, oh, wait, this is not like
Yeah.
I don't have to look back to the talking to time. I
So
don't have to focus all the time.
when we meditate, there's always going to be noise. There's always going to be distraction. So when we meditate, we have to listen. You have to feel it. Imagine you're sitting down and you're in a windy place. You're going to get upset with the wind. It's happening. It's there. It's happening. Right? Same with the noises. Sometimes I'm meditating in London and I've got helicopters flying over my head. You know how loud that is? It's so loud when I'm just listening to every sound. When the car drives past and you hear it in the distance, you listen. From the moment you hear the sound to the end. And at the same time, when the silence then more sound. And the point is to connect with that silence. And that was without getting distracted by it. I think we are going to take one or two more questions and then we'll see. So, then, well, there's natural meditation and there's conscious meditation. So, when you're naturally meditating, you're doing that everywhere you can. Right? Whether you're sitting here, whether you're driving, you're walking, you're naturally meditating. When you sit down to consciously meditate, the setting is pretty important. It would be nice to have a nice setting where you can relax and relax and comfortable. Maybe not so much noise, but the noises will still come. That's the thing. So you don't be distracted by it. You just listen to them in the same thing. So, let it come, let it go. It will happen now. Take video 3 from me, please. Right, let's play video 3 and then I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll take are you asking me or okay, isn't really a danger to meditation.